Hello there, this is John. I meet Jenny one evening in a bustling cafe, the kind where laptops hum in the background, and half the conversations are about startup ideas or the latest app. We're in our late 20s, both knee-deep in the West Coast tech grind. She's a marketing manager at Sharp, always 2 steps ahead of everyone. I'm deep into data science, obsessed with patterns, numbers, and predictions. I can't predict what happens when our eyes meet across the room. It's instant, electric. No one ever tells you how a glance can change everything. The connection is immediate, like we've known each other forever. We talk for hours, jumping from ambitions to weird childhood stories, the kind you wouldn't usually share with a stranger. It's effortless. I don't know what she sees in me, but I'm hooked. She's real. No pretensions, no agenda, just a shared curiosity about life, about the world. Our plans align like gears clicking together. We both want the same things: success, adventure, and maybe a little chaos along the way. After 4 months, the unexpected happens. I'm holding her hand on a Sunday afternoon, in a park, laughing about something stupid, and she tells me, "I'm pregnant." My world tilts. I blink maybe twice, but I'm not sure. No, this wasn't part of the plan. But somehow, as soon as the words leave her mouth, they settle in. The reality sits down like it's always been here. We marry quickly, partly because of the pregnancy, partly because it feels right. The decision isn't rushed in my mind, it's like something that was always meant to happen. Jenny and I share a bond that runs deeper than anything I can explain. We handle family challenges together, my family, her family, and suddenly it doesn't matter where we are in life or what's happening around us. We're in it together. And for a while, that's enough. I never imagined how fast everything would evolve, but here we are, still figuring it out, one day at a time. A few months into marriage, things get busier. I dive into the technical aspects of my PhD program. My schedule grows more chaotic with each passing week, and Jenny's career continues to soar. It's the kind of relationship where both of us are pushing to meet our own goals, but sometimes it feels like we're 2 ships passing in the night. The evenings, once full of long talks and random adventures, are now replaced by dinner on the fly, her phone lighting up with emails and notifications, my laptop open to an endless sea of data points. But there's a rhythm to it. We're both tired, but it works, until it doesn't. Jenny's pregnancy, though unexpected, creates a foundation that can't be shaken easily. Watching her navigate motherhood for the first time opens something in me. I never imagined I could love her more, but I do. And I think she feels the same way. It's a heady kind of connection, where everything feels new and shiny, and nothing feels impossible. I'm proud of her, how she handles the baby, how she keeps her career intact, how she keeps it all together. The first year of marriage is a blur. Between the sleepless nights and the meetings, the constant juggling of deadlines and baby bottles, it feels like we're building something, brick by brick, one quiet decision at a time. The house is filled with the hum of life. And in some way, the chaos feels comforting. We're both tired. We're both struggling, in our own ways, but we're in this together. We laugh about it when the exhaustion peaks, teasing each other about how unprepared we both were. But we keep going. And that's enough. Months slip into years. The rhythm of our life together becomes predictable. At first, that feels like a comfort. I can rely on the quiet evenings, the days spent juggling work and family. But as the years pass, something changes, and I start noticing the cracks. Jenny is still driven, her career climbing higher while I'm buried deeper in my PhD work. The pressure is constant, suffocating at times, but I convince myself it's temporary. It has to be. We fall into the routine, dividing tasks. I manage the kids during the day, handling everything from the morning rush to bedtime stories. Jenny heads out early, usually working late into the night, with a new project always on the horizon. There are brief moments when I catch her eyes across the room, and I see the exhaustion in them, the same exhaustion I feel. But it's fleeting. And we both power through. The marriage still feels solid, like a strong foundation under our feet. I'm focused on finishing my degree, and she's laser-focused on her career. It's the kind of balance I tell myself we need. But the cracks are widening. And it starts small. Jenny begins to slip away in ways I didn't expect. It's not huge, not at first. A little more distance in her voice when she talks to me. A little less interest in the simple things that used to bring us together, our late-night talks, the impromptu weekend getaways. I can't quite place it, but I feel it. Something is off, and I don't know how to fix it. I try to fill the space, stepping up at home, handling the kids' school projects and doctor's appointments, managing the dinner table conversation. I do it because I want to, because it's what we agreed on, but it starts to feel like a chore. Like something is missing. Jenny, on the other hand, begins to crave something more, something outside of the four walls of our house. She wasn't raised with the same freedom I had. Her upbringing was strict, her social circle limited. And now, as she climbs higher in her career, she begins to push against the confines of her old life. She wants to go out, meet new people, experience what she never had the chance to growing up. I don't argue with her. I encourage it. I push her to find herself outside of being a mother, outside of being my wife. I want her to have fun, to feel free. I handle the kids, picking them up from school, taking them to the park, handling the night shifts while she's out with colleagues, meeting friends for dinner, even going away for weekend retreats. I don't mind at first. I'm used to the quiet life, the calm routine. But slowly, that calm starts to turn into loneliness. She seems to return from her outings more distant, more preoccupied. It's not overt, not at first. I can't put my finger on it. The nights become longer, the silences between us stretch a little farther. She's there, physically. But emotionally, she starts to pull away. I don't understand it, don't know how to fix it. But I keep going, because that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to hold it all together, no matter how tired we are, no matter how out of sync we feel. The tension mounts. It's subtle, but I can't ignore it. And yet there's a part of me that refuses to confront it. Maybe it'll pass, I think. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. After all, we've been through so much together, so many highs and lows. We'll make it through this too. I believe it. But believing isn't enough, not when the distance between us is growing. Not when I can hear her heart beating somewhere far away, and I'm left standing on the outside. And still, I wait. For years pass, each one blending into the next. The routine becomes so familiar it's almost like breathing. We get by, surviving on the small moments between work, parenting, and whatever time we can squeeze for ourselves. But there's a quiet tension growing beneath the surface, something I can't shake off no matter how much I try to ignore it. I've been here before, where everything seems fine on the outside, but something in my gut tells me it's not. Something is off, and I don't know what it is. I try to brush it off. Maybe it's just the stress of the PhD. Maybe it's just the weight of the years that's starting to show. But then it happens. One night, after she's gone to bed, I'm cleaning up the kitchen. Her phone is on the counter, face up, and it buzzes with a new message. It's from a number I don't recognize. I glance at it without thinking. I shouldn't have. But I do. The message isn't much, just a casual. "How was your trip?" from someone named Darren. Something about it nags at me, though. The way the message sounds too familiar. Too friendly. Too personal. My heart beats a little faster as I set the dish I'm holding down on the counter. I glance at the phone again. And again. The buzzing starts again, another message. I can't help myself. I pick it up. This time, it's a string of messages. I scroll through them before I can stop myself. Casual plans for drinks. Jokes about her flight. A few flirty emojis. The last message stands out. "Can't wait for our next date." It hits me like a punch to the gut. My mind reels, trying to process what I'm seeing. It's not just one message. It's the context, the pattern. It's months of communication hidden in plain sight. This isn't just a friendly text exchange. It's an affair, and it's been going on for weeks, months, maybe longer. I want to scream, to confront her right there, but I can't. I can't make sense of any of it. I set the phone down and step away, my head spinning, the room closing in on me. The next few days are a blur. I don't confront her immediately. I don't know how to. I watch her, her movements, her words, trying to find the truth in the lies. And they're everywhere, hidden behind casual smiles, behind a veil of excuses. I try to talk to her, to get some answer, but it's like speaking to a stranger. She's evasive, deflecting every question, every suspicion. She's good at it. Too good. I keep my distance, pretending like nothing's wrong, but the anger is burning inside me. I feel betrayed, torn apart. But I don't act on it. Not yet. Instead, I do the one thing I know I can control. I start diving into my work. I pour myself into my PhD. I bury my head in data, in research, in problems I can solve. The world outside is spinning out of control, but in my studies, I can find some semblance of order. But at night I can't escape it. The image of her phone, the messages, the lies. They haunt me. The trust one built, the foundation we built our marriage on, it all starts to crumble. I suggest we go to couples counseling. She agrees, though there's no conviction behind her words. She's not sorry. Not yet. She's defensive, confused. But I'm the one in shock. The discovery of the affairs, both physical and emotional, hits me harder than I ever thought possible. I don't know where to go from here. All I know is that I need answers. And I need time to figure out what to do with this newfound truth. A week after the discovery, we sit in a therapist's office. The air is thick with unspoken words, with her silence and my anger. The counselor asks questions, but Jenny doesn't answer. Not really. Her eyes dart around the room, avoiding mine. She's ashamed, I can see that. But she's also defensive, like she's ready for a fight. The counselor brings up the possibility of deeper issues, suggesting Jenny might have unresolved trauma from her childhood. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to make excuses for her anymore. But I listen. She's silent the entire session, and I'm left holding everything, the pain, the betrayal, the fear. She's checked out, and I'm still here, trying to pick up the pieces. It's in that office, after hours of sitting in that sterile room, that I make the decision. I'm not going to give up. Not yet. I want to work on this, for our daughter, for us, for whatever is left. I try to convince myself that we can fix it, that this isn't the end. But deep down, something tells me this might be the beginning of the end. The months after the discovery blur together. I want to believe that we can fix it, that this marriage, this family, is worth salvaging. But each day feels like a tug-of-war, with me pulling one way and Jenny pulling the other. There's an undercurrent of something I can't shake. A part of me wonders if I'm fighting for something that's already slipping through my fingers. But I keep pushing, convincing myself that this is a phase, that we can work through it, because I don't know how to give up. The idea of a fresh start takes hold. Maybe it's the only way we can heal, if we can even heal. Jenny suggests moving across the country. A new job opportunity for her, a change of scenery for both of us. I agree, not because I'm excited, but because I'm desperate. Desperate for anything to put the pieces back together, desperate to make this work for our daughter, desperate to stop this spiral before it sucks us all down. The first year in our new city feels like a mixed bag. On the surface, things seem better. We communicate more. We have more family time, dinners together, trips to the park, the kind of normalcy we hadn't had in years. We reconnect in small ways, even rediscovering a little bit of intimacy we lost in the wake of the affair. I don't know how long this will last, but for the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe. The quiet is comfortable again. I don't expect everything to be perfect, but I start to think that maybe, just maybe, we're making progress. But the cracks never quite disappear. They stay there, quietly threatening to widen when I'm not paying attention. Jenny starts going out more. The late nights return, the social gatherings with colleagues, with friends I don't know. She claims she's doing it to build a new social circle, to ease into the new city. At first, I don't mind, she needs to rebuild, and I'm willing to support that. But it doesn't take long before her behavior starts to remind me of the patterns from before. There's the secrecy again. The late-night texts. The sudden, unexplained absences. The way she hides her phone when I enter the room. I try not to overthink it. I try to trust her. But something in my gut tells me I'm missing something. And then I find it. It's in the form of a message, once again. A familiar name, Darren. It's not the first time I've seen it, but this time, the message isn't a casual greeting. It's a plan, detailed, explicit, about meeting up at a hotel. My stomach drops. It's like I've been hit with a hammer, all the progress we made crumbling in an instant. The hours we spent trying to rebuild, the fragile connection we were trying to reignite, shattered in a heartbeat. I confront her, and this time, there's no denying it. The guilt, the defensiveness, the anger, they all spill out in one massive wave. She admits to it, but there's no remorse in her voice. Just resignation. She's already too far gone, and I know it. This isn't the first time. Not even close. It's a relapse, her pattern of betrayal, her inability to stay faithful, to stay present in this marriage. She keeps talking about her needs, her freedom, but the words fall flat. I don't know what she's looking for, and I don't know how much more I can give. We don't go to couples counseling again. I can't sit in that sterile room, trying to pick apart a relationship that's already frayed beyond repair. Jenny is no longer the person I married. She's someone else, someone I don't recognize, someone I don't know how to love anymore. I spend the next few days trying to process it, trying to understand how we got here. I think back to all those quiet moments, to the small things I overlooked, her distance, her coldness, the way she kept slipping away even as I tried to hold on. I wasn't blind to it, but I thought I could fix it. I thought I could make her see what we had, what was worth saving. I was wrong. This time, I know there's no coming back. The trust is gone. The love is fading. And I'm done. I don't say the words yet, don't make any final decisions, but inside, I know the end is near. There's no more fighting for something that's already lost. There's no more pretending. There's only one truth now: Jenny is gone. And I'm left to figure out how to move forward, with or without her. After the discovery, everything blurs. I want to believe we can fix it, but each day feels like a tug of war. I pull one way, Jenny pulls the other. Some part of me wonders if I'm fighting for something already slipping through my fingers, but I keep pushing. I tell myself it's worth it, that we can save this, for our daughter's sake. Because I don't know how to give up. Jenny suggests we move across the country. A new job for her, a fresh start. I don't have high hopes, but maybe a change of scenery can help. I'm desperate for anything that can make this work. We agree to try, though I'm not sure if it's for us or just to keep up appearances. The first year in our new city feels like progress. We communicate more. We have family dinners. We take trips to the park. We spend time together, more than we did before. The intimacy returns slowly, bit by bit, and for a while, I can breathe again. There's something resembling normalcy, something I didn't realize we'd lost. It feels good, but I'm wary. It's too fragile, too new to believe completely. But I let myself hope. But cracks never vanish. They sit quietly, waiting for me to stop paying attention. Jenny starts going out more. It's always networking. Always meeting new people. At first, I don't mind. She needs to build a social circle. I can support that. But then, the secrecy begins again. She's on her phone more, slipping it away when I walk in the room. The late nights, the unexplained absences, they return. I try to ignore it. I try to trust her. But something gnaws at me. And then I find it, another message. A name I've seen before. Darren. This time, it's not just a casual text. It's an invitation, explicit, planned to meet up at a hotel. I freeze. Everything I thought we were rebuilding crumbles. My hands shake, and my chest tightens. I confront her. The guilt in her eyes is there, but so is the anger. The defensiveness. The words are rehearsed, practiced. She's done this before, and she's doing it again. She admits it. Not just once, but repeatedly. The last year meant nothing. The trust is gone. I can't rebuild it again. I can't pretend. The words we once shared feel empty now, hollow echoes of something that's no longer real. I want to scream, but all I do is stare at her, wondering who she really is. We don't go back to counseling. I can't sit there, dissecting a relationship already beyond repair. I know Jenny isn't the woman I married anymore. She's someone else, someone I don't know how to love. The days blur as I try to process it. I think about the quiet moments, the small things I ignored, the coldness, the distance, the way she kept slipping away even when I was still trying to hold on. It's clear now, I wasn't blind, I was just hoping. Hoping she'd change. Hoping we could fix it. But I was wrong. This time, I know it's over. The trust is shattered. The love is fading. And I'm done. I don't say the words yet, I can't, but inside I know the end is near. I don't want to fight for something that's already lost. There's no coming back from this. Jenny is gone. And now, I have to figure out how to move forward.